Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Monday, April 8th, 2024. I, of course, with Originator Success here with your daily rate update, the only place on the web where you guys get to join me talking about mortgage rates each and every day. So glad to have you here. Remember, you can join me live 9:30 a.m. Eastern time as I do this show with you. If you're watching on the replay, don't forget to give me a hashtag replay in the comments. Let us know that you were here. I appreciate when you do that. I know it only takes a minute, but a lot of people don't do it, and it shows me that you actually watch and want me to do this. So if you like me doing it, let me know you're here and let me know that you were here. So if you're on Facebook, don't forget to smash that like button, tag an LO friend, share us in a group. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, click that notification bell, and subscribe. Remember, you can sign up for our written lock advice, get an email to your inbox each and every weekday morning, www.ratelockadvice.com. Send that out each and every weekday. You can also sign up for our $7 text alerts, www.ratetextalerts.com. And always appreciate you supporting us, and a lot of people rave about those texts, so glad that they work for you. Also, check us out at originatorssuccess.com. Set up a demo with Austin. Right now is when you need to be getting out there, getting market share. I know nobody wants to be spending money, and believe me, I don't want to be asking you for it, but I do think it's important. Services like ours, you got to make sure you're spending your money in the right areas, and ours is still getting everybody an investment. They're making money on our stuff. So check us out at originatorssuccess.com. And if you want to be reminded to join me live each and every day, remember you can go to hmmr.io/reminder or click the QR code or the link that it throws up in the comments, and we'll get to all that there as well. So let's say hi to the live folks. Who do we got here this morning on lovely Monday? First one here is Mike Morano. Mike, thanks for that article that you sent over from Yahoo News. Market Watch is owned by that, Dow Jones company. Same thing as Wall Street Journal and Barron's. So I have subscriptions to all those. So I have similar info. Thank you for sending that. Mike Tebow, good morning, sir. Megan Lindbergh, hello. James Mahan, great to see you. Ron Siegel. Ron, you were looking for an eclipse of the Fed. I was going to say that this morning we want to start looking at rates with our blackout glasses on, because we really don't want to see them. So if you take those eclipse glasses, that's what we want to be looking at rates at this morning for sure. Who also got here this morning? Jerry Avila. Good morning, sir. Great to see you. Kenny Rivard. Great to have you here. Lisa Bollinger. Good morning. Facebook user. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. I'll have to go look. Go Boilers. I don't know who Boilers are, but I'm missing something. Ron Siegel, brackets still intact today. Go Purdue. You guys are funny. Bobby Searson, good morning. George Messiah, Tom Stafford, Brendy Brickler, good morning, all of you. Okay, let's get into the good stuff. Let's start off with the technicals this morning. Hold on a minute. Rob Stewart, good morning, sir. All right, where is it? Okay, starting off with the technicals. Mortgage-backed securities down 12 basis points right now to start the morning. Take a look, though. Look at this fish hook down here. We had a big drop-off point. Friday, we were doing so well. I wanted to switch this to a 2-day chart real quick. Friday, here was the jobs data, right? Okay, so let me make this bigger so we can all share this. See this real clear. So Friday, we got the jobs data. It's right here. Boom, drops down, right? Boom, we know that. More jobs created than what was expected. We've already talked about that at Friday. Again, a lot of those jobs are shit jobs, part-time jobs. But we know people are spending money. The economy is chugging along because people are spending money that they don't have, and we're living on credit. So what's going on here is we get a nice recovery. After that, look at that. It really, we started out, at 99.25, dropped all the way down to, a low of what was it here? 98.95, and then it's back up to 99.17. And we kind of went, lost a little bit of ground, and then it just kind of settled through the day. It was a really, really good sign. Well, right here, take a look, though. This is when the bottom fell out. This is when things were not so good. And that happened around 2 o'clock, or 3 o'clock, rather. So late in the day on Friday, we saw bonds start to lose ground. This morning, losing a lot of ground. And then again, nice recovery in domestic trading. This is overnight trading with that big drop. Domestic trading, nice recovery after the weekend. We're not back where we were, though, even when we had the jobs data, though. It's gotten worse since then, but it is recovering again. We're down 12 basis points to start the day, but that does mean rate sheets are going to be worse to when we start. To begin with, rate sheets will be worse on the day. Reprice risk on the day is moderate, although we're trending in the right direction. There's a lot to be concerned about right now. Going back to the technicals, take a look at this 10-year Treasury yield. It's at 4.43 right now. It's pushed up. We've got some technical support around 4.5. We'll be seeing if that holds up, right? This is kind of an article about it here in Bloomberg. Bond traders see 4.5 yields as the next test as focus shifts to the CPI. Inflation figures come on heels of surprisingly big job gains. Yields hit new yearly highs amid renewed inflation worries. There's one hope left. It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. It is the Federal Reserve gaining the upper hand in this fight on inflation. Problem is, it's not likely that that's going to be very effective. I don't think we're going to get a lot of love with this report from the CPI. If anything, it's going to show a very minor tick down. And what's surprising is even the Fed said that they don't expect to see inflation just drop to 2% or below. It's continued to improve chip by chip by chip, but it just isn't enough for markets. I'll tell you what has concerned the crap out of me, though. So this morning, this was the first time that the expectation of a Fed rate cut in June was actually lower than 50%. It's 51.1 right now, but about an hour ago, this was actually below 50%. It was more likely, according to the markets and what was trading, it was more likely that the Fed would leave rates unchanged in June than cut them. And by the end of the year, even right now, we are neck and neck. Not only is it 32 to 32 to whether we see two or three Fed rate cuts this year, but if you actually draw a line and look at where these ideas are lower and where these ones are higher, it's basically 50-50. Right now, markets think it is a coin flip, whether we see two or three. And there's a lot of Fed members that are out there, flapping their jaws that we're going to see two or even none. Neil Kashkari is a Fed member and Fed president, and he said that he doesn't think that we will see any. Now, Kashkari, not a voting member, and neither is Logan from the Dallas Fed. These ones that are talking about this, they're not even voting members, but they're getting a lot of press time. So comments from Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas President Lori Logan added to the more hawkish picture, saying that it's too early to consider cutting rates. They don't even have the comments here from Kashkari, who said he didn't think that we'd even need a rate cut this year. So looking at these, these are Logan, whose remarks are closely watched by investors, given her prior role managing the central bank's asset portfolio at the New York Fed, says she's increasingly concerned that inflation progress could stall out. But here it is. Fed Governor Michelle Bowman also expressed concern about potential upside risk to inflation. She continues to expect price pressures will cool further with interest rates held at current levels, but reiterated it's still not yet time to lower borrowing costs. Here's the bottom line. Until we get really sincere data showing that the economy is slowing down and the labor market is weakening, the Fed is not under any pressure to cut rates, and they're not likely to. Your comments up here and what you guys are saying, because I love your comments. Ron said Kashkari gets his advice from Diana Olick, consistently wrong but consistent. Yeah, it's funny is I try not to pretend like I know any better than they do, but it really his stuff is super hawkish. Jackson Booth says, I would agree we don't see any this year. If I do, I think it'll be one and one only in November. Jackson, you think so? Listen, Noisy, I'm working here. I got a noisy coworker here. What are you doing there? Nobody wants to hear you meowing and meowing there. Kittens are cute but noisy. So anyway, I don't know. I think that we have to see at least a couple. I don't think they want to wait until things fall apart, but yeah, I mean, this inflation report that's supposed to come, the expectation is that we'll see a very slight improvement. Let's see. This is what Mike Morano sent over my way this morning. I was reading it. Oop, there it goes. Just before we, did it not? Where's the, let me find the email. Hold on. Doobie. Okay, here it is. This is what I wanted to, let me pop this over here for you. So anyway, let's see when I was reading something in here about it, on Thursday, Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari suggests the Fed may not cut interest rates at all this year if inflation progress stalls. After the March jobs report showed the labor market remains remarkably resilient. I don't I don't know that I agree with that. Many of you guys have said the same thing before. Ron said in 2021 they waited until things fell apart. Why change now? That's true. They may actually do that. Good morning, Lisa. And I'll tell Millie you said hello. Good morning, Lisa. Great to see you. So anyway, taking a look here, y'all. I mean, it just that's realistically that we might not see it. So unfortunately, what does this play out for mortgage rates? It means that we're likely to see rates creep a little bit higher rather than improve. Looking at where rates have been, we're not at the worst, but we'll be up here again. So, 7 and an eighth. We're not going to see them go too high because again, we're not looking at Fed hikes. There's no talk of that, but we're just not seeing them go down, as has been the problem for the last year and a half when we were forecasting a recession and forecasting all these reasons that rates would come down. And yet rates continue to not come down. Again, oversimplifying, but the economy is still doing well. People are out spending money they don't have. How sustainable is that? How long can that go on for is the question. Because if people are spending money, they're keeping the economy going. Businesses are making money, which is why there's no layoffs, which is why they can still hire, which is why all this stuff. I mean, it's all just, you guys know it's all connected. So it really comes down to people spending money. Right now, the good news is consumers becoming more I'm not my vocabulary is failing this morning, but they're getting used to the rates that we see, and they're going to become a little less emotionally attached to them when they start drowning in credit card debt and car loans that are $800 to $1,200 a month. I mean, all these kinds of things, and there'll be refis out there. Business is going to tick up, and we've had a lot of LOs that have left the business, and there's a little more business going on. I am talking to a lot of people that are busy. I know some people are still really struggling, but keep your chin up and try to fight through it. There is a light near the end of this tunnel. So as far as short term, though, we want to just keep an eye on this and see what's going on with bonds. Let me plop this down this way here, and we'll make this full screen. We want to keep an eye. We want to watch this 10-year treasury yield and see how high it goes. We're watching mortgage-backed securities. They've got some support from this 200-day moving average, which is what, 98.50-ish. So 98.51 right now, but 98.50-ish we'll call it. And we're at 98.73. So that would be about 25 basis points down. I don't think we would go much lower than this, even with the expectation that the Fed would not cut rates this year. I don't think we would see them drop that high. I don't think we're going to see the 10-year push much past 4.5 if it did. I think that's going to hold up because even if the expectation changes to where we don't believe, I forgot about that one. I haven't done that one. Even if we get to the point where the expectation is that the Fed is not going to cut rates until later in the year, there's going to be talk about how that's, going to affect politics, and there's concern with that kind of a thing, et cetera. But we're not in a position where the Fed is going to have to hike rates, and that's going to cap how bad rates are going to get. So it really comes down to trying to catch these little windows, if you will, of when is the best time to actually get in and, lock in these rates. And I would cautiously float for now. I'm just, again, especially the longer that you've got farther out there, the more we've got time to see where things go and how they go. So right now we're down, like I said, about 15 basis points to start the day. We were down quite a bit more than that this morning. So the fact that what was the worst level here? It was 98.58, and now we're at 98.72. So that's 14 basis points. We've recovered almost half of the morning losses, and that's a good sign. So reprice risk is there today, but we shouldn't have to worry too much about it. Ron said, I'm not the only conspiracy theorist about the BS report from BLS. The odds of all economists surveyed missing by such a wide margin with non-farm payroll forecasts 3 straight months was statistically impossible, per Daniel DiMartino. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't... But you have to say, how would it be? You've got the entire BLS in on this. Is it pressure from the administration? And if you're doing that, why wouldn't you continue to drop the unemployment number? The household survey versus the business survey? I don't know. So Mike Morano about Diana Olick, I get it. It's funny. So Hey, oh, you guys commenting on the hat. Thank you. This is not a new hat. If y'all didn't know, I don't know if it'll go up that high. There you go. I have an entire wall of hats, actually. Um, if I turn this off, you will see even more. You can see some of them up here. And yeah, no, I have about 15 cowboy hats, just as I have lots of different pairs of cowboy boots. So, being that it is 53 this morning and nice weather, I took off the felt hat and I went with a straw hat this morning because it's a little bit cooler. So, anyway, if you are all watching your what you would call it there, the solar event, what the hell do they call it, the eclipse? Like I said, otherwise these are good for looking at the bond market in the morning so that you don't have to see what's actually going on. Keep your eyes safe. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's see if we get some recovery heading into tomorrow. Not panicking yet, but again, this is marking a shift. There's a big momentum shift. When we look at what's going on here with the Fed futures, all of the different articles are basically saying the same thing. Traders lean toward favor 2 Fed cuts in 2024. This is marking a shift that we have to pay attention to because it's going to kind of put a floor on how low mortgage rates will go. So it's not just a cap on how high they'll go, but it's also a floor on how low they go. Ron said, "Wear the hat that fits the mood of the day." Well, that would be one with that would be, here you go, Ron. Then if we're going with the hat that fits the mood of the day, we got to go with the black hat because it's more like a funeral. Because I think it's a funeral. Look at my white head. You can see my white head right through that. The hat. But this is more of the look. This would be more of the mood of the day. Is like we're going to a funeral for rates because I think that we are bearing rates. The idea that we're going to see rates significantly improve from here. So it's a family show. Be careful. Yeah, I don't. What'd I say? I don't think I said anything bad. All right. I'm going to wrap it up, y'all. You guys have a fantastic Monday. Keep your fingers crossed. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Hopefully, you'll join me then. Remember, I do this each and every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. You can watch on Facebook or on YouTube. Appreciate all of my friends that join me, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.